sometimes being a creative can be frustrating, and the place that we're in can be frustrating. It's honestly where we love to be, and we wouldn't be anywhere else. And this is the person. These are the people. These are the people. This is the person that God has made us to be. And so even though like it can be frustrating, like I said, I couldn't see myself not being a creative. I couldn't see myself not being able to express the way I do through art, through makeup, through different other areas. Say you love me, rain or shine. Don't leave me, ride or die. Say you gon' keep me through the night. You and I by my side. Say you love me, rain or shine. Don't leave me, ride or die.
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 41 of the Ria and Liz podcast. Praise dance, praise dance, praise dance.
Wave the flag.
Woo, 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 woo. Praise dance, praise dance. Woo.
Okay, welcome back, guys, to episode 41 of Ria and Liz.
Can I put a disclaimer? I'm tired, so I might start doing weird things because
this episode might get a little weird. Both me and Kim have had long days, and it's been tiring. But we knew that we had to put out this episode for you guys because we are about that dedication. You already know what it is. And if it looks like my eyes are like closed, they're just low when I get tired. So if I just start to look crazy, I'm trying to look awake.
Yeah, I generally just have like smaller eyes, so they always look low. Even like when I got my driver's license picture taken, the lady was like, "Ma'am, I need you to open your eyes." I'm like, "They are open." They were like wide open. I don't know what else you want me to do. And she's like, "Oh, maybe like pop them out a little so I look a little crazy." This is literally me.
That's weird. That was scary.
Yeah. Okay.
So without further ado, we are going to start off this episode like we usually do. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome to the Ria and Liz podcast. We're happy to have you here. And if you are a returning, I was about to say guest. This is not a hotel. If you are returning to the Ria and Liz family, then you already know how we're about to start off this episode. And we do it with our beautiful theme song written by an amazing writer. Can't tell you just yet who it is, but once this person starts releasing more music, you'll know. So without further ado, it goes a little bit like this. Ria and Liz, Ria and Liz, Ria and Liz. Yeah. Ooh, Ria and Liz, Ria and Liz, Ria and Liz. Whoa. Ria and Liz, Ria and Liz, Ria, slow it down. Ria and Liz,
Ria and Liz, Ria and Liz, yeah.
And you're watching The Awkward Adventures of Church Girls.
Welcome back to episode 41 of the Ria and Liz podcast. That didn't sound right. Anyway, welcome back to episode 41 of the Ria and Liz podcast, hosted by myself, Kim, and
Gloria.
And we're excited to have you back. And yes, for those who are coming back after 40 episodes, we appreciate you. You're the real MVP. And those who are joining us for the first time, welcome. We would recommend you go back to not just episode 1, the intro episode, and then work your way back. It'll be worth it. Got a lot of like exciting guests and some nice gems, funny moments, cute moments and stuff. So yes, we're excited to be back. Okay, me and Gloria are really tired, so this episode is just gonna be like.
Sorry, I have like 3 tired phases, like angry tired, giggly tired, and like tired where don't talk to me. Like,
so which one are you? Giggly tired?
Yeah, I'm definitely giggly tired right now. It's my favorite one, I think, because everything is so funny.
Too funny. All right, so we're gonna kick off the episode the way we normally do with our song of the week. And because me and Gloria is so tired, we're pretty sure the song has not been done because it's not on the playlist. So the song is definitely a personal favorite of mine, and Gloria loves it too. And it's a single from an artist. His name is Antoine Bradford, and he's just like amazing Christian artist. I love his work. I'm pretty sure he's independent. He's not signed to any label. To support his work, go listen to his stuff so he gets the streams and like succeeds. Like he deserves. I think he deserves a bigger platform than he has.
Yeah.
And the song for this week from Antoine is Be My Everything, and it's a really great song. I just love the sentiment behind the song, and yeah, here we go.
I've been trying to fix my house, but the rain keeps pouring down. And I can't seem to find a leak. And I've been trying to figure out what this life is all about. So Lord, would you please speak to me? Cause I know I'm prone to try to dethrone you from my heart. Oh, you are so faithful, you won't let me tear us apart. So God, I need you to give me eyes to see all of the things that you're doing for me. Good Lord, I need you to fix what's broken in me. To tell you the truth, I need you to be my everything. To be my everything. To be.
All right.
No, hold on. Let's just dissect what he said for a second. He said, okay, I might get the lyrics wrong.
You know I'm prone to trying to dethrone you from my heart.
Okay. Whoa, giving me vocal acrobatics.
Yo, that part of the song, just that part.
No, listen.
It's good enough, okay? Like
my part, like when he says, what's it called? You won't let me tear us apart. What? Hold on. Have you lyricist?
So good. Yeah, I love this song, and I think it's such a great song because it speaks about surrendering. Because sometimes, like, we're always trying to be in control of everything, be in control of every situation, and it's like, listen, God's got this. Like, let's not be trying to do God's work for him. God knows what he's doing. He's intentional, and like we have to stop like dethroning the king from our hearts and like trying to be the king. Like, no, God is king. He knows what he's doing. And like, yeah, no, this is my jam still. Like, I love it.
It's so good. So definitely check out the Ria and Liz playlist on Spotify. It will be available to you there, and all of our favorite songs. Honestly, it has grown so much to like 41 songs this week that like, listen, you can boom, press play, press shuffle, and just be
jamming for 2.5 hours.
And it's good Christian music. Like, I know, I don't know what this was good, but I know that sometimes it can be hard to find good Christian music that's, like, you don't you don't want to listen to worship, but you want to listen to something that has great content and that still will feed your soul. And like the music that we're giving y'all, the music, go check it out. Ria and Liz playlist on Spotify. But without further ado, we're going to jump right into this topic. Ooh. So today's topic is going to kind of be we're going to recap a topic that we had previously done. I do forget what episode number it was, but it was our Living in Purpose episode featuring one of our really good friends, Michaela Arnold. And in that episode, we were just talking about purpose and how to find our purpose, et cetera, et cetera. And as you may know or may not know, me and Kim's, I guess, can identify as creatives. Scary. So because we identify as creatives, sometimes it can be kind of hard to figure out where your lane is within this field of creatives. Over the years, it's gotten so big where there's so many different lanes, there's so many different things that you can do. And, you know, being a jack of all trades or someone that's good at many things, it can kind of be hard to find your niche and kind of be hard to find at where you fit in. And I know for me personally, like this has always been a struggle of mine of, okay, like what lane do I want to go in? Do I have to pick one lane? But if I'm trying to make it, I should probably pick one and then branch off. And there's no structure within this field. So in today's episode, me and Kim kind of just want to dive deeper into the struggles of being a creative and how sometimes it can be frustrating and how to give our frustration up to God at the end of the day and how to continue living in purpose as being a creative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think for sure, like the process of identifying one as a creative and then like actually deciding to be that is really hard. Especially like today I was just thinking how we live in such a space where like everything is like overly consumed.
Yeah.
Because if you think back to like the 90s or like the 80s when people like even like early 2000s when people made music, they would make like an album that had like 3 songs and then they would never put out any more music until like 5 years later. Yeah. Like that, like the songs had longevity, like they lasted a long time. They were on radio for like years and years and years. And then like just everything, like in general, like filmmakers didn't feel pressure. Like TV shows would literally come on once a year. Like they weren't trying to make 2 seasons in 1 year. And like now it's like there's this high demand for like creative content, I guess because of social media, we like you have these constant like 30-second clips, 15-second clips, 60-second clips. And so it's like you have to constantly be making stuff. And like when you don't, people are on your case and it's like, why haven't you put an album out? And the person's like, I literally put out music last year. Like I don't know. Like, what do you want me to do? Like I like haven't even finished listening to the album I put out. Like I don't have enough streams. And so it's like there's this like high demand of like mass production of creativity, and it's really hard because of the internet, people have like access to their favorite creators, and so it's like constantly DMing them, commenting, when are you gonna put a new album out? When are you gonna make a new video? And it's like, I just put out a video yesterday. Can you watch that one first? Like, and so it's like it creates like a certain amount of unnecessary pressure. Like for the artist, because now you're like trying to create out of pressure and not creating out of like just enjoying art or like just wanting to do something that's like fun for you, but more like I need to make something. And yeah, it's really hard because like I watch like a lot of like people put their content on like Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, and then like after a while they just kind of burn out because it's like
it's a lot.
Like every single day you have to have something 10 times a day, like you're just posting, and it's like
I think also like just like you're saying, because of social media, everything is going so fast. Trends come and go, this come and goes. Like if you're not on top of it, you'll be forgotten in an instant. And I think as a society we've lost how to digest content. Like
Yeah.
we've lost the art of really taking it in. Like I remember the days when I was younger where if someone put out an album, you're listening to the album from beginning to end in order. Like, and you're just digesting the whole album, you know? But we're in an era where it's just single after this, single after this, single after this. And it's more like choosing songs. And I think we're not able to really digest content properly. Well, yeah, I would say properly, because you're not really taking it in. It's just like, okay, cool, next, because there's always something next. So you're like Instagram, you're always scrolling. Like, have you ever found yourself just scrolling on Instagram, liking pictures, and you don't even know what the picture is?
Yeah.
Like, you're just,
there's like no real appreciation for like, art. Because even I find like it's like a lot of like Christian, like big Christian bands, they'll like put out like 3 albums in a year, and it's like, I'm still listening to the first one. Can I take in the lyrics of the first album? Like, I'm still there. Like, wait, like let's just pause. And I think sometimes it becomes really overwhelming, and then like to turn that around, like for me as a creative, then it's like, I don't want to create stuff if I have to constantly be putting out stuff every day. Like, that's not fun, because sometimes your brain is just not there to the creativity.
And it honestly, and like for myself as well, it's really hard to create like that. Like, it's because when you think of like the creative process, everyone's creative process is different. And for me, like when it comes, mine just comes anywhere and anytime. But when you have to literally think of a new idea every single second, or a new TikTok idea, or a new this, or you had an idea for a song that went viral, but then like that song is done, like no one's listening to that song anymore, and then it's on this next one, and it's like a no sleep mentality that's going on, and it's really hard as a creative. And as someone who does makeup, there's so many trends that are going on, and it's just like, if you don't jump on it, then you're kind of in a way forgotten, you know? Like, if you don't jump on the new eyebrow craze, or the new foundation that's going on, it's just like nobody wants to listen to what you have to say, because you're not doing what's current or what's relevant. And I think for me, like that's one of like the biggest struggles, because it creates a loss of passion, I think, for me, almost, because it feels like whatever I want to create is not good enough, you know, to get that recognition. And then you get to a space where you have to just be like, okay, like I need to create what I want to create at the end of the day. Like the people that go like it are going to like it. You know, you have those artists that are like, listen, you gonna get an album from me every 5 years. Appreciate it when it comes. Like all this business of 2 albums in a year, you're not getting that from me.
Okay. Like, what do you think is your biggest frustration as a creative?
I think so. I didn't even label myself as a creative. The label was given to me.
By who, ma'am?
Everybody. Everybody. So I actually have 3 biggest frustrations, and we can just break them down. But my first one is like the lack of a blueprint. So I'm that person. I'm okay with following rules. Honestly, instruction's great. Like, tell me how to do something, I'll do it. And because, you know, we're in this space where it's just like, there's no, like, I'm not a doctor. So I know I don't have to get my bachelor's degree, master's, PhD. Like, there's no direct path to getting where you want to go, but like, where do you want to go? Mm-hmm. Like, does that make any sense? So like that is a little frustrating, because you know there's a certain level you want to get to, but there's no exact way how to get there. And I guess there's like with every profession, no one's path is going to be as straight, or no one's path is going to be the same.
But just to interject there, I think that there is, like, not that there is no blueprint at all. I think that there is, like, you can look at other people who are doing similar things and say, okay, what is it that they're doing that I can take? Like, obviously you can recreate their creativity, but you can recreate their work ethic. You can take, like, their plan, like how they do stuff, and like revamp it to work for you, and then apply that. I think that there is, it's not like a blue, obviously, because it's not a formula or anything. Like,
there's no formula.
Whatever. But I think you can take like elements from other similar creatives and like use that.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. What's one of your frustrations?
I think for me, like one thing for sure is I think as like this is me personally, I do this to myself. I suffer from imposter syndrome, and so I always feel like my work is not good enough. We're not as good as the next person's work, and that also then creates a feeling of like I'm not doing enough. Because today I was actually working on my portfolio, and then afterwards I was watching it, and I was like, oh, like I've actually done a lot of work in the last like 6 months, like designing logos, creating like brand boards for people, poster designs, and all these things. And I was like because I was putting it all in like videos and like edits and stuff. And I was like, wait, I am like I am doing work. I am actually creating some sort of value, but because a lot of the work is not paid, I was feeling like I'm not doing enough. Because there's no like reward for what I'm doing. So it's just like I'm kind of just doing passion projects, right? But then that's still work, like that's still creativity. It still counts for something because I was putting it on digital portfolio so I can apply for a job. So clearly it counts for something. And so I think that, for me, like I'm probably my biggest frustration because I suffer from imposter syndrome for sure. Like,
I think like my other biggest frustration, I would have to say, doesn't directly relate to like being a creative, but because it deals with me, it like connects to it, is the fact that I'm an immense people pleaser. And that plays a lot in all areas of my life, and especially in my field of profession, just because I am a people pleaser and I'm very hard on myself. So I do things so people will be happy. And then in turn, I kind of neglect what I want to do or neglect what I really have in my heart to do because I'm trying to just make other people happy, whether it's, from like parents to friends to whoever. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my voice. Do you hear that?
You getting emotional?
Yo, no. Okay. Hold on. I'm back, kind of. But so with that, like, in being a creative, I find myself always just trying to do what other people are doing because it gets traction, and I find it hard to step out of the box to do what I, in a sense of what I really want to do, what I think creatively, because in my head, what I'm thinking creatively isn't like a good idea. Like the ideas that I have aren't good. The plans that I have aren't good. The looks that I have aren't good enough. So let me just do what everybody else is doing, or let me just do what people suggest that I should do because they see that that is what I'm good at, and they see that, hey, Gloria, you're good at this, so you should do that. Me, okay, but it's not necessarily what I want to do. So it takes a toll on me and my identity as a creative because I've taken on what other people see of me as my identity instead of being like, okay, Gloria, like, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
So
I guess that's like where me and you kind of differ. Like,
yeah,
if I don't like something, I'm not doing it. Like, even if I'm good at it, I'm just like, yeah, this is not for me. Like, I'm just like, nope. I just don't like suffering because, like, when you do things you don't enjoy, there's like an element of suffering that comes with it, and it's not enjoyable. Like, you're literally like, Lord, why? Why am I doing this? So yeah, I get where you're coming from though. Like, I think it is important to kind of identify what you want to do because that also helps with like your creative process and how you do things and how you get stuff done. For sure. And I guess in line with that, well, not really. I guess in line with that. For me, like comparison is a big thing. Like always comparing Like,
say it again, Kim. Say it again.
comparison is the thief of all joy. But yeah, literally like comparing my work to someone else's work and going, oh, like I wish my video looked better, or I wish this graphic looked nicer. Like I could have done this, I could have done that. But like looking at people and going, watching them do something creative and going, I can do that, but like, do I really want to?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like I know, like for me, like one of my little like side hustle jobs is like building websites. And after like doing it for a while, I'm like, I actually don't really enjoy this process. Like I like designing the front end of the website. So like I'll do the mock-up and like design it. But the process of actually building the website, I'm like, I hate this. This is exhausting. Like, but it pays the bills though. But it's like, this is exhausting. This is like tiring. It makes my brain tired. I'm up until like 4 a.m. trying to figure out like this one thing. I'm like trying to code. I don't know how to code. Now I have to call a friend and be like, hey, what's the code for this? Because I don't know. And I think it also just comes from like comparing. And I think maybe that's why I don't like, because I'll like compare, because then I'll look at the website I made and then look at another similar website and be like, is still trash. So I think comparison for sure. And even like I find like with songwriting, there's a lot of like comparing, because I'm like, man, the song
Wait,
doesn't
sorry, Kim. What did you say that you do? Sorry. Can you repeat that for the people in the back? What'd you say you do?
I write a little something, you know, some
Uh,
verses and some bridges and stuff. But I find like I'll compare because I'll listen to it and be like, oh, this doesn't sound as awesome as like the Maverick song or whatever. But then what I'm comparing is my version that's like that me and my friends wrote, and with like an acoustic guitar and electric guitar, and then comparing it to like a whole Maverick City production that had like 40 background singers, a whole production crew. It's mixed, it's mastered, it's got like
yeah.
16 instruments on it. And like, so you can't even like compare the two things, but that's literally like where my brain is going, like looking at my like comparing my small thing to someone else's big thing. And like that also creates some sort of sense of frustration. But like again, it really just comes from myself.
Yeah. Honestly, you can't compare your process to somebody else's final product.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
just it does not work. I think comparison is definitely big up there for me. Another one that I would say for myself is just a lack of motivation. Really, I don't know how to motivate myself. Like there'll be days where like boom, 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 like I'm shooting content, man, shooting content. The next day is and I think it's I'm just that person that goes in and up, and like my life is a roller coaster. So I'm always doing this. And so I think finding the stable ground within that. And I think also just like fighting through the process of not allowing my emotions to determine what I'm going to do that day. Because my emotions they are not consistent. They're always going up and down. There's certain things that, I'm not going to want to do, but that I need to do. There's so many things in life that we don't want to do in the moment, but we need to do for the betterment of our future. So definitely for me, like lack of motivation. What's been helping me recently though with like just not being motivated to do stuff, honestly, is doing my daily devotionals. Like for real, like just being able to be in the word every morning. It's like I feel ready for the day, and I get a boost of energy, a boost of creativity, like, oh, I should do this, I should do that. And on the days where I'm not feeling like I want to film anything,
Yeah.
I'll honestly get into my space where so my creative space sometimes is like when I'm doing my makeup. I'll literally just go ham. Like I have no blueprint, nothing, just do something. And then after that, I'm able to be like, okay, like I'm ready. Like I've put myself in a space where like I'm like able to create. So yeah, I would definitely say lack of motivation is hard.
Yeah.
Is difficult.
Yeah. I think like my last thing, I guess, is just I just don't like the stuff that I create. Like
Yo,
I
what?
like be excited, make you get ready to be like, yes. And then afterwards, it's just like you look at it and then you're like,
Listen, that was me creating this makeup look. I still don't like it.
I like
I
it.
am literally listen, I was like, why did I mess it up, man?
Yeah, no, I just sometimes I'm just like,
And then people be like, oh, it's so good. Me.
yeah, it's like it's all right, like yes.
I mean, if you look at it like that. And honestly, what I've realized though is, have you ever like looked at someone else's like work and it just looks better than yours? I think it's our own eyes. Like someone else's food will always look better than yours. Someone else's project will always look better than yours. Like for some reason, I always want to sleep on my mom's bed. It just looks more comfortable. Like it's something about someone else's thing that makes us want it more. But anyways, continue to your last point.
Yeah, I just don't like what I make. But then like sometimes back to the songwriting stuff. Anyway, so like this one time me and my friends we worked the song and it's a great song. Will people ever hear it? Maybe because my friends are like confident, they'll be like, yes, we're putting it up.
Yes, we will put it out.
But like for me, after it was like, oh, I don't know. Because again, I was like comparing, right? And then this one time I was like going through something and then I started singing the song and then I was like looking for it on my phone and I played it back and I was like, yo, the song. The song. Bro, you get taken on by something that you did. I was like, oh man, this is really good. There's a little something over here. But yeah, I think just like again, I guess it's like just being hard on myself and just not really not appreciating the process.
Yeah.
Like the after part of it, because putting too much focus on like what will people think, like are they gonna like it? Are they will they like think it's good or whatever? So I think yeah, like
why do you think we do that? Because I beat up on myself like all the time. But why do you think we do that to ourselves?
honestly, I think I'm taking back to my point about like social media and how like it's like this constant like
Yeah.
display of your creativity, right? And if you're not getting 100 likes on a post, it's like, was it worth making it? Because then like you're not getting validation.
Yeah.
And maybe that's like an ego thing, maybe it's pride. Because then you're like, someone else will put out something that's not really as nice as yours, to be completely honest. And they will get like 100,000 likes, and you're like, because you see this all the time on like TikTok. People will, like the original creator will make a dance, and then people will copy the dance, and then the copycats are getting like 1 million views, and the original creator of the work is only getting like maybe 1,000, 10,000 views. And so I guess like that's where that kind of comes from. Like you don't want to put stuff out and then no one like likes it, no one acknowledges the existence of that work, and it's like because then you're like, why am I doing this if no one's gonna pay attention to it? But then I think just to kind of like answer myself, I was reading today in Genesis 1, and it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And he's like making creation and he's like speaking things into being. And then I think it's verse 27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female, he created men. And essentially, why I'm reading this scripture is what I realized is that God created out of himself. Like, there was no one came to God and say, hey, God, we need you to create earth, and we need some people in it, and we need this. No, God was just in heaven, and he's like, Holy Spirit, Jesus. So why don't we just create a nice place, earth, and then we're going to create people in our own image. And he created out of himself, and he just whatever he was speaking, that's what was coming out of him, and there was no pressure to from anyone else. And I think that's the blueprint. Like we create out of what's coming out of us. So like as Christians, what should be coming out of us is God's word. What should be coming out of us is the time that we spend in the presence of God, and then that in turn creates our creative process. And so I think that for creatives, that is the blueprint. Like be in God's presence, seek his face, and then that will come out of you and you will create. And not creating for people or creating for an audience or creating because you want a certain amount of YouTube views, Instagram views so you can get paid, but creating out of just like the love of creating, out of the enjoyment of doing it. Because I'm pretty sure God is like having fun. He's like, let there be light. Then the sun like pops up. Let there be water. And the water's like, shh. Like,
he was gassed.
Yeah, he was because this man was out there for like 6 days just speaking things, and everything was just like popping up. And I think that I think if we follow that same process and allow God to be part of our creative process, we'll find ourselves creating better work, and not out of pressure, but out of a desire to want to glorify God in our work. Yeah. And so that was kind of like the conclusion I came to. I was like, okay, God knows what he's doing, because he be the creator of all creators. And so if he has set a standard for us on how we should create, then it should be easy for us to follow that same standard and say, this is how I'm going to create.
That's good, Kim. That's so good. Honestly, what you said about creating out of the love of creating, I think really just is the answer to our frustrations. Because don't you ever get like frustrated and be like, oh, I just need to create something, and then you make something and then it's just like you feel better about yourself. And honestly, just remembering that we're made in God's image, and he called us very good, and it's because of him that we are able to have like the skills and the talents that we have, because we're made in his image. So that was real good, Kim. I can't wait to hear one of your songs one day. I told you, Kim is going to be on bare credits, song credits, movie credits, TV credits, production credits, brand credits. I'm trying to find all the credits. But bare credit. Listen, mark my words. Check Kim's resume in 6 years.
Yes.
Not make that 7. God likes the number 7. Me too. I like the number 7. 7 years.
Completely.
Check Kim's resume. Bare credits.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem. But yeah.
Oh, sorry. And then was another scripture I wanted to read. Okay, I can't find it. But anyway, it's like a scripture in the Bible where God like actually gives I think it's Moses, like the spirit of wisdom, and it's Moses, and can't remember what they were doing, but then in Exodus 35, verse 31, it says, and he has filled him with the spirit of God in wisdom and understanding and knowledge and in all manner of workmanship, to design artistic works, to work in gold, silver, and bronze, and cutting jewels for setting and carving wood, and to work in all manner of artistic workmanship. And he has put in his heart the ability to teach in him, and Aholiab, the son of Ahishmash of the tribe of Dan, he has filled them with the skill to do all manner of work, of the engraver and the designer and the tapestry maker in blue, purple, scarlet thread, fine linen, and of the weaver, those who do every work of those who design artistic works. And like this is specific like to like design, but it just shows how intentional God is in like creation and like creating beautiful aesthetics. Like God is not boring. Like if you walk outside and you see like how the mountains are shaped and then the tree pops up and then like in the springtime the flowers start to bloom and then it's just like and then Gloria starts to crump in the middle of creation. Like you see how intentional God is in terms of like making things look good. So there's nothing wrong with like wanting to create things that look good because God did that. And I think that we should allow God to give us the wisdom, the creativity. Again, back to my other point, like spend time in God's presence and the creativity will just begin to like flow. But yeah.
It's flowing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow.
No, honestly, that's so good though. That's a good verse.
Huh?
I said that's a good verse.
Yeah.
Or a good passage, I should probably say.
Yeah, I should probably read it again, like from the.
Yeah. What was the name again? Sorry, I missed it. What was the name? Ash. What did you say? Ash.
Don't worry about it. I'll call it Mac for sure. But yeah, I think that's all the contribution I have for this episode. I don't know, Gloria, if you have any closing thoughts.
Closing remarks. Even though sometimes being a creative can be frustrating, and the place that we're in can be frustrating. It's honestly where we love to be, and we wouldn't be anywhere else. And this is the person. These are the people. These are the people. This is the person that God has made us to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so even though like it can be frustrating, like I said, I couldn't see myself not being a creative. I couldn't see myself not being able to express the way I do through art, through makeup, through different other areas. And I just thank God for making me who I am today. I feel like I'm accepting an award. I just want to thank God for everything that He's given me. And my advice to everyone is to stay in His presence. And through His presence, creativity will flow like the water. Yeah, that was a lyrical. That was all type of representation.
What?
I've always wanted to do poetry, by the way. I've always wanted to do
was in her creative zone. She was doing poetry. She's like, I am a creative I am. Oh goodness, we're so tired. Anyway, so yeah, I think this was a good episode. I hope it was useful to some creatives who are watching me. You just like, same girl, same. We're all in this together, guys. We shall overcome. And I think, like don't downplay the work that you're doing right now, the efforts that you're making, the work that you're putting in. It does count for something because I think we definitely do tend to overlook that. And like, if people tell you your work is good, believe them. Like, why would they lie? We in our group of friends, they're very honest. So if it's trash, they'll tell you it's trash. And they'll be like, oh, okay, I'll just go redo that.
I'll just go collect my things.
I'll just gather myself.
No problem.
Thank you so much. So I think, get people who are honest around you as well. Like, don't get people always just gonna be like, yes, that's so great, so fantastic, even if it's whack. Like, yeah. So Gloria, how Christian are you?
Kimberly, Rudeau,
So funny, Rudeau. Wow.
You don't even know how Christian I am. You don't know how.
I know you're so Christian. You're out here trying to.
No, I have one
from the Spirit. She's like, Holy Spirit, help me.
Holy
Spirit, help me.
Okay, so as those that have been watching us for a little bit, you know that I like to watch not weird shows. Let me not say that. That I like to watch reality TV shows. So I was watching Divorce Court for a little bit, and then at one point I was watching TLC. What was I watching? you know what I was watching. TLC, what's it called? 1,000-Pound Sisters for a little bit. And now I've switched to Kitchen Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay. Anyway, so the whole point of this How Christian Am I is because I was watching an episode and this lady was like, she was like an old Black lady that was like the owner of the restaurant. She's like, I believe in the power of prayer. And I believe that the Lord has sent you here to help us renew this restaurant. I was like, you better say something, sister. I was like, I believe in prayer too. Honestly. And yeah, that was really just it. I was like, her faith ignited my faith.
I love it.
So Kim,
yes, ma'am.
Kimberly, songwriter. I can't even name all your hats because we're gonna be here all night because you wear too many. How Christian are you?
So I'm so Christian. I actually had two, so I'm trying to think which one to tell. This one, okay, no, I'll tell this.
You had two. You had two?
I actually had two because
you had two.
Prepared. So anyway, this one time, I think I'll go with this one because it kind of matches yours because it's like about people being like overly like. So this one time when I lived in Johannesburg, I was in a taxi. So like a taxi is not like a cab; it's like a big, like a minibus that seats about like.
Wait, there's a difference between a cab and a taxi?
Yes. So like a taxi is like a minibus, and it seats about like 16 to 20 people, depending on the type of minibus it is. And so I'm in the taxi, and usually it's like 3 people per row. And so I'm sitting like at the window, and then there was like an older lady next to me, and she had like her basket, and then like whatever. And then there's like the bus conductor, so he kind of just like stands. No, there was no bus conductor because this is Johannesburg, they didn't do that. So there's just the driver in the front. So you kind of just pay me, pass your money forward. So when the taxi were going, and like Johannesburg taxi drivers are notorious for driving like they are in some GTA game or like Formula One races. And so this taxi driver is going, and like Johannesburg is also known for like having like the worst traffic. Like you can sit in traffic for 2 hours and it's a distance that should take you 20 minutes to get there. And so we're now like stuck in traffic, and the taxi driver is like, Bundes, I don't have time to be sitting in the spot, so I'm going to make my own road. And so it was literally like it was like 3 lanes, and then like the middle, and then 3 lanes going that way, right? And then there was a sidewalk. So this man drives up onto the sidewalk. So half the 2 wheels on the side are on the sidewalk, the other 2 are on the ground. So the taxi's like this. And we're going, and he's like going fast. And so now the lady next to me, before she was like talking to me, and she's telling me, oh, like how good God is, and she's happy to be awake this morning. And she said her prayers, and I was like, that's great, amen. Come on, lady, thank you for the prayers, because we're going to be protected. And so we're going, and it's like, and then I guess because like it was like scratching the bottom of the engine. So now it's like, oh, here's like this sound, right? And then the taxi's going, and it's like literally like shaking, and now we're literally like this. And then we're getting to a traffic light, and he tries to brake, and this car is not braking. And so it's like, and then this lady sitting next to me, she's like, I'm gonna translate it to English, but she said it in Zulu. So she's like, oh, Jess, so she's literally like, Jesus, we're going to die. Jesus. And literally, I looked at her, and I was like, now, let's just die with some sense of dignity. Don't scream. Because if you're screaming and you die, your face is going to stick the way it was, right? And so I'm just like...
It is?
Well, that's what I was told. So I'm like literally tilted, like, just head down, praying in tongues. And
so Kim's trying to die.
And I'm literally like... And she's like, oh, Jess! And then the car like stops. And everyone gets out, and the taxi driver is like, oh. Like, he's like, oh, you guys are just exaggerating, get back into the car. And everyone's like, nah, fam, we're good. We're just gonna be outside, and you do what you need to do, but no one's getting back. We'll wait for the next taxi to come. But it was just so funny. Like, I was like, honestly though, internally, I was that lady. I was literally screaming like,
Chance!
But she was like out here. The taxi driver kept looking back at her like, stop being dramatic. We're not gonna die. Actually, I'm gonna stick with this lady's prayers because they might just save us. So yeah.
That is
like she was out here interceding on our behalf.
For real, she was calling on Jesus for everybody in that taxi.
Sure thing, because she was like, "Listen, I have kids to feed. I'm not about to die." But yeah, that was funny.
For real though. So we hope that you enjoyed today's episode. Remember, if you're new, welcome. Please stick around for next week, and don't forget to go back to the intro episode and work your way up, because we definitely have some gems and some great guests that we've had on our previous episodes. And for those returning, hey, you already know what I'm about to say. Oh, that rhymes. So if you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe, y'all, so you can get updated. Don't forget to click the bell notification button so you are notified every single time that we post here on YouTube. Don't forget to also follow us on our Instagram page, on our Ria and Liz podcast page, as well as on our individual pages. And if you are listening to us via audio, what's up, audio family? We hear y'all, don't see y'all. I'm telling you, I'm hilarious. But if you're on audio, don't forget to like, follow, click the heart. Y'all know what you do over there. I'm not over there. Y'all know what you do over there. But without further ado, we have come to the end of our episode, and we will end off like we always do. So, Kim, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. Got my water right here. I'll hide the label.
Water's so good, man.
Yes.
Like, it's beautiful. Okay, let's clear our throats together. And it goes like this. Ria and Liz, Ria and Liz,
Ria and Liz, yeah.
Ria and Liz, Ria and Liz, Ria and Liz, yeah. Whoa, Ria and Liz, Ria and Liz, Ria, slow it down. Ria and Liz, Ria and Liz, Ria and Liz, yeah. And you're watching The Awkward Adventures of Church Girls.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.